Hello everyone, my name is Azad, and I'm also taking a course on interactive programming in Python. After finishing the second mini project, I have decided to make my own tutorial to be posted for the week 2. So my program is very similar to the second mini project, but in my program you don't have to guess a number, but instead you let the computer guess the number that you're thinking of. So let's go ahead and start the first very simple version of the program I have made. So when I run the program, it creates a frame, and in this frame there is a text area, and the name of this text area is enter a hint, and also the program uh, starts the game by already saying the first guess, which is 50. So we need to think of a number in the range between 0 and 99, and then we can give a hint to a computer by saying if it's lower or higher, or if it's the number that we were thinking of. Okay, so let us think of a number. Okay, let's say we're thinking of 83. So 83 is higher than 50. So I can go ahead and say it's higher here in this text area. And then computer says, I think your number is 75. Okay, no, it's higher than 75, so I click enter it again. Now it says, now the program says, I think your number is 87. No, now it's lower than 87. Then enter lower. Okay, I think your number is 81. No, now it's higher. Okay, for 84. No, it's lower now. 82. No, it's higher. Oops. Higher. Okay, and it says, I think your number is 83. Yes, that's correct. We were thinking of 83, and I can say exactly. And then computer says, don't you think I am smart? No, you're not smart. You're just using the algorithm of binary search. So as you know, to find a number, we can use the binary search algorithm, which is implemented in this program. And it's very simple. First of all, we need to import simple GUI to be able to create the frame and the text area. And then we need to initialize the global variables. So to implement this binary search algorithm, we need to have 3 global variables besides the number of attempts, which is not very important in this case. So the first variable is the higher limit or higher number. The second one is the middle number, and the third one is the lower number. So the middle number, to calculate the middle number, you need to subtract from the higher number the current middle number, and divide it by 2, and then add a low number. That's in case if the hint is higher. And then we need to change the values of the higher and the middle and the low number, and then decrease the number of attempts. So as you can see here in this function, that's the main function that does the logic of the program. So first of all, we need to use the keyword global, because we need to access these global variables, because we want to change their value each time when this function is called. So that's why we declare that these variables we're using are the global ones, and then we check if the hint is exactly. So hint comes from the text area, which we have here. So whenever you enter something into the text area, it transfers its data to this getHint function. So that's the main function, and we have this argument hint, which is obviously a string. So then the program checks if hint equals to exactly, then it just prints, "Don't you think I am smart?" And then it calls the init function, which is this. And the init function is just restarts everything and starts the game from the beginning, because the computer was able to guess the number. Okay, so if the hint is higher, then we should change the values of the numbers that we are using, values of the global variables in this case. So now we need to assign to the low variable the value of the middle variable, and then now we have to change the middle using this formula here. And then I have introduced this guess variable, which is not really useful because our guess is always equals the middle number. But I just did this on purpose to make this a little bit more understandable. I hope it's not vice versa and confusing, but and then I decrease the number of attempts by 1, and then it just prints out the message. So in this higher section, you have to please note that the value of the high variable doesn't change because we want to go higher. So, and in this lower section, if the hint equals lower, then we assign a value of middle to the variable high, and then we calculate the new value of middle, and then we assign guess to middle, decrease the number of attempts, and rest is the same. So this is very simple, and I hope it's very easy to understand. As you can see, I've used this type of division here. We don't want to have floating numbers, so we've used this type of division here. Okay, so this is the first version of the program, very simple and kind of boring. So when I went to bed and I was thinking to myself, okay, I made this program, but it's really boring, maybe I can change it a little bit. And then in the morning, I made this version, which is a little bit different, because when I was thinking of the first version, I thought, well, it's a good program, but who wants to enter all those long strings into the text area when you can just press a button, right? So let's try this version of the program. So this is the same program, but now we can instead of entering the values of the hints, we can just press the button with corresponding hint. Okay, so let's think of a number. Let's say it's 51, and the computer says, I guess your number is 50. No, it's higher, 75. Lower, 63. Lower, 57. Lower, 54. Lower, 52. Lower, 51. Yes, you got it. and then it says, "Don't you think I'm smart?" and then new game starts. So this program is very simple and very similar to the previous one, except now I have 3 buttons. One button for handling the situation where computer was able to guess, and 2 buttons for higher and lower hints. So I have corresponding functions in here. So what I did actually is just I have divided this get hint function into 2 by using the same code basically. So I have this go higher function here. So it does the same logic, and go lower is here, and the got function just prints the message and then restarts the game. So everything should be simple to understand. And again, as you can see, we're using the global variables because we want to change their values each time. Otherwise, if you would use just local variables, this program wouldn't work. Okay, so then after doing this program, after making this program, I decided, okay, maybe I can make it even more complicated a little bit. So I came up with the third version of the program. So let's go ahead and start it. So it's very similar to the previous 2 versions, but now we have 2 more buttons. And now we can choose the range that we want to play. And also the game now doesn't start immediately by itself. You have to press one of the buttons, one of the range buttons to start the game. So that's why it prints out this message in the console saying to start the game, select the wanted range. Okay, let's think of a number. Maybe we can think of 888. So the range would be from 0 to 999. And the program says, okay, let's start. I give you numbers 500. I have 9 attempts left. Our number is higher. Okay, 750, no, it's still higher. 875, no, it's still higher. 937, no, it's lower now. 906, no, it's lower. 890, no, it's lower. Now it's higher. Okay, higher. Okay, so it was able to guess our number of 888. And I press you got it. And then it says, do you want to try one more time? Select the wanted range to start a new game. Let me close it and take a look at the code. So it's very similar to the previous implementations, but now we have more buttons. So we have 2 more buttons for the ranges. So therefore we have 2 more functions to handle these buttons. So we have a function called range 100, and we have a function called range 1000. So what they do, actually, they do a very simple thing. They just reset the values of the global variables to the values corresponding this range. So if you press the range 100 button, it resets the values of the global variables to the 100, the middle number to be 50, and the lower number to be 0. And it also resets the number of attempts, and the range 1000 does the same thing but for 1000. As you can see, I'm not checking in my programs if the computer exceeded the number of possible attempts. You can do this yourself if you would like, but in most cases, since it has been proven mathematically that if you play fair, the computer should be able to guess your number within this range of attempts. So it's 7 attempts for 100, 10 attempts for 1000. So, and then we have the same function called init to initialize, but now it doesn't change the values of the global variables. It just prints out the message. And also we have the same functions from the previous two versions, go higher and go lower. So this is it. I hope you like it, and you can change these programs if you want, and I'll be glad to receive any comments. Thank you for watching.